In the scriptural justice system, the highest of the high, the Most High, Yah, is the judge and jury, and the seed of Israel are his children. These are their stories. The native peoples of the Americas had their own ancient spiritual systems. The Israelites who later arrived and interacted with them came from a completely different stream of history. Part 2. Empire and Double Erasures, 400–1200 CE, how both the Christian and Islamic empires pressed the scattered Israelites from opposite sides of the Old World. How MuZiC, a world split in two. By the 5th century, two giant spheres ruled the map, West, East. The Christianized Roman world, Greek and Latin in language, centered in Constantinople and later Rome. The emerging Arab-Islamic world, Arabic in language, spreading from Arabia across North Africa and into Asia. Both absorbed territories where the children of Israel had settled after 70 CE. Both demanded conformity to their own state religions. Both began replacing the Israelites' visible identity with imperial identities. 2. The Christian squeeze. Constantine, Theodosius, Justinian. Christianity becomes the empire's official faith. Law codes forbid Hebrew worship and limit synagogue construction. Hebrew schools are replaced by Greek or Latin-speaking church schools. Passover and Sabbath are replaced on the calendar by Easter and Sunday. Effect: the Israelite presence inside the empire is forced to become invisible. They are allowed to live, but only as a marked minority, barred from high office, often confined to specific trades. The term Old Law becomes shorthand for something obsolete. Outcome: by the 600s, most Israelites in the Western Mediterranean live under these restrictions, their scriptures surviving only in monasteries or private scrolls. The Islamic squeeze. Rise of the caliphates, 600s, 900s. Arab armies sweep across North Africa and into the Iberian Peninsula. The Afro-Asiatic Israelites already living in those lands are absorbed into Islamic territory. Conversion is encouraged. Arabic names and customs replace older ones. Those who resist are taxed as dhimmi, protected but second-class subjects. Parallel pattern. Just as Rome forced Latin names and baptism, Islamic rule often required Arabic names and confession of faith to gain safety or trade rights. Over centuries, many Hebrew families outwardly adopted Islam while quietly keeping fragments of their former tradition: circumcision, certain dietary rules, seventh-day rest, but in Arabicized form. 4. Between two empires. By 800 CE, the Israelites of African appearance are caught in a vice. To the north and west, the Christian world declaring itself the new Israel. To the south and east, the Islamic world claiming to supersede all earlier covenants. Both worlds use forced conversion, marriage control, and language change as policy. The result is what scholars later call crypto communities, families who appear Muslim in one setting, Christian in another, but inwardly still honor the covenant of their fathers. Tel Aviv, Spain, before 1492, the test ground. When Muslim armies crossed into Iberia, 711 CE, they found Israelites already there from Roman and North African exiles. For a time, under tolerant rulers, these Israelites served as translators and scribes between Arabic and Latin cultures. But by the 11th century, alternating Christian and Muslim dynasties began purging one another's minorities. Each side demanded loyalty, each side distrusted the Israelites in the middle. This constant turnover trained Iberia in the tactics that would later become the full Inquisition. 6. The hidden transmission. Even under pressure, Israelites continued to teach. In North Africa, Torah schools operated quietly in Fez and Tunis. In Ethiopia and Yemen, Hebrew psalms were preserved in Ge'ez and Sabaic. In Iberia, poets and scholars such as Dunash ibn Labrat and Judah ibn Hayyuj, descendants of African Israelites, kept Hebrew grammar alive. These cultural sparks are the reason any written Hebrew survived to be rediscovered centuries later. 7. Why this era matters. By the year 1200, 1. The Afro-Asiatic Israelites had been living under foreign rule for nearly 100 years. 2. Every empire around the Mediterranean claimed to replace them spiritually. 3. Their visible identity was suppressed through two languages, Latin and Arabic. 4. Their descendants in North Africa area carried both marks, baptized names or Islamic names covering Israelite bloodlines. This is the population that will later be renamed again under Spain and Portugal and carried to the Americas. 8. Summary of Part 2. Theme: Christian Empire. Islamic Empire. Result: language of control: Greek, Latin, Spanish. Arabic method: baptism, Latin naming, Sabbath suppression. Shahada declaration, Arabic naming, taxation. Result: hidden Israelites inside Christian Europe, hidden Israelites inside Muslim Africa, qua Arabia. Shared goal: absorb or erase the covenant identity. Absorb or erase the covenant identity. By the close of the 12th century, the stage is set. Both empires have refined the tools of renaming, confiscation, and spiritual replacement. Spain and Portugal will soon fuse these methods into a single industrial-scale system, the Inquisition. Welcome to Yah and Order.
I'm just flying high on my horse. I live by peace while you incite wars. I just mind my business, I just mind my business. While you just in your feelings, you just in your feelings.